nightmares and intrusive thoughts make me feel like it's a constant struggle.
A new complaint has just been filed identifying Diddy Combs as the defendant in a sexual assault offense involving a 9-year-old juvenile, and you are not going to believe how Diddy was coercing minors as young as 7 years old to say yes to intimate activities. Join us as we take a closer look at one of Hollywood's darkest secrets, lifting the curtains on fresh Diddy claims from a 9-year-old child, and also I heard the puppet was going to be there, so I became afraid. Check it out. So thank you for the award. It means a lot to Music Me. Sha Diddy, founder of Bad Boy Records, is now engaged in a fierce legal battle as more than 25 lawsuits and over 100 victims have come forward alleging sexual abuse and manipulation and even rape. Victims as young as 7 years old have been identified and are now being represented in a criminal case brought forward by the Busby law firm. The claims against Diddy come with physical proof, DNA tests, and even police reports, all pointing towards one thing: Diddy is guilty.
The idea that there are sexual predators in power, not just in Hollywood, but I think in all across any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry, you have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that, but the larger question is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted, men are afraid to speak up because either they're out of the same fear or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple, and this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that. That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it's got to be done. I'm sorry it's like that. So beware. That's also present, without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed, negotiated settlement deals of which a non-disclosure agreement was part and parcel to it. That also does not carry the day.
According to Damon Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Sha Diddy Combs used his power to threaten and coerce minors to perform inappropriate acts with him. Diddy would promise them that their career depended on them saying yes to him, and at points even threatened physical abuse if the victim said no. Another instance, another minor told allegedly by Shan Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed a visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26, at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus. Where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another case, a person oofed, this time not a juvenile, was attending a group meal reportedly with Shan Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking since she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something she blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed again, allegedly with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore. Who are all the minors that Diddy abused? Well, in some cases, these were actually A-list celebrities, household names that everyone knows have been abused and coerced by Diddy to perform intimate acts with him back when they were children. Justin Bieber, Usher, Meek Mills, and others are just a handful of the individuals Diddy is said to have harmed, and as the trial against Diddy approaches closer, all of this is going to become public. We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they are true, you shouldn't have been in the room, and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits. And may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public, and when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that, so we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our shirts, and I believe that there will be some persons listed in this statute in these cases that will raise some eyebrows following a video of Diddy physically Cassie back in 2016 leaked to CNN that other victims knew they may finally receive justice. Diddy's victims have begun stepping up and documenting the violence they went through at the hands of Diddy and his co-conspirators. Thalia Graves, one of Diddy's claimed victims, has filed a 26-page complaint naming Diddy and his bodyguard Joseph Sherman as defendants. The lady was extremely distraught at the press conference as she detailed a horrible and violent assault. The internal agony of being sexually raped has been so deep and hard to put into words. Talia Graff, seated next to her attorney, Gloria Allred, alleges that Diddy Combs and his former security Joseph Sherman drugged and raped her at Bad Boys Record Studio in 2001 while she was 25 years old. I'm emotionally traumatized. It has been hard for me to trust people, to develop good relationships, or simply feel secure in my own. According to the complaint filed on Tuesday in New York, Talia was lured to the studio under false pretenses. She claims she was given a drink spiked with drugs, causing her to pass out. When she woke up, Talia says she was restrained and being brutally assaulted by Diddy and his bodyguard. Flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts make me feel like it's a constant struggle in 2023. Talia claims she discovered that the rap had been taped and through the years had been circulated to several individuals. The defendant arrives and another defendant distributed and/or disseminated the films without the plaintiff's knowledge or permission. Combs is facing at least 10 identical cases. He is jailed up awaiting trial on human trafficking and racketeering accusations. I'm delighted that he is locked up, but it's a transient sensation of relief. Talia claims she didn't go public until now because she says that they reportedly threatened to destroy her life if she spoke anything. Videos of Diddy's alleged freak-off parties have now begun to come up and have been collected by the FBI. Courtney Burgess, a source close to Diddy, has been summoned in a federal inquiry where 8 leaked audios directly exposing Diddy were played in front of a grand jury. Burgess is just one of the celebrities who has been asked to testify against Diddy, and as more victims come forward, the odds of Diddy escaping are just going to grow fewer.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to be.
Let me rephrase it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were, all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly.
You made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or that's what we're going to head over to do now? So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not have so. Why were you in court today? Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was complained by the court, so as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house, and they will bring you here. So that's why we're here for that, I know. You can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage we have, yeah, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse, so I don't know if that's the any more questions, but we kind of got another hingo. Are you nervous, or do you feel NIA never nervous, only thing spar me is God? I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss? No, we're trying to go to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives. Okay, but it was the book, so it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned. Besides, it's her nobody touched it. Oh, so it is her official book. Yep, nobody and no one touched it. Nobody allied, so it's not the copy that the guy stated that he was selling earlier. No, it's two separate versions. That one was edited, and we have Theop producers from TMZ who have supposedly also unearthed one of Diddy's claimed freak-off recordings, which show Diddy engaging in a threesome with other A-list celebs at one of his freak-off parties. In a recent interview with News Nation, Harvey Levine from TMZ truly reported what he witnessed on the Diddy recordings he has, and let's just say that Diddy is not getting out of jail for a very long time. And I want to start with Tanya Wallace, who says she's been at a free-off and claims she saw children, and it was hard for her to say it. It was hard for her to say. It was extremely hard for her to say it. Ashley, so what she claimed was that she was flown out from LA to Miami by the Saudi prince, and they ended up finally on Star Island at one of Diddy's parties. She says, you know, among many other things, I mean, she goes into detail. She says happened in 2018. She says that she walked into the house and there was a cluster of adults around what she described as little people, and they were dressed up as Japanese Barbies. I forgot the name, is her something. You can help me out here. It's a certain type of Barbie. Anyway, I know the name, but I forgot it, but go ahead. So she explained that they were just clustered around these little people, and I kept pushing her, and she eventually said, look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party. And I pushed her, and it was apparent what she was saying is they were minors. Now, she didn't see anything specific that was going on with them other than that adults were kind of huddled around them, but she told just a wild story about what was going on at the house, even at 7 in the morning, that this thing apparently raged all night long. You know, it's amazing. This may be your best scoop from TMZ, which always gets great ones. You got a hold of one of the free of tapes. Hey, your producers have seen it. The description is, and I'll quote, it's porn directed by Diddy himself, and a male sex worker really sort of walks through what happened in the experiences that he had. They didn't sound illegal, but they sure seem to comport with a lot of the other stories that have been told. Yeah. So this was a threesome. What you would question me about earlier about Tanya Wallace, she stated there were more than 100 individuals at the party, including at least 4 celebrities. However, what you're talking about now was a threesome, and that's something that the U.S. attorney even referenced, and his lawyer in an earlier documentary we did. He was describing threesomes. He says it was all consensual, so yes. What we're told is that this male sex worker was flown out to various locations over a couple of years, Miami, New York, Los Angeles, and one other, and they would meet in hotel rooms, and Ariel Mitchell, a lawyer representing an A-list celebrity that was abused by Diddy, has recent claims have surfaced regarding the existence of disturbing recordings involving Sean Diddy Combs, commonly referred to as freak-off videos, and there are increasing reports that these tapes are being shopped around Hollywood. This new controversy involves allegations from individuals who claim to have been approached by various parties with the intention of selling or distributing these tapes. The most chilling aspect of this growing saga involves a client represented by a lawyer named Ariel, who asserts that their client was sexually assaulted by Diddy in their youth after allegedly being drugged. These troubling allegations are adding to the complex web of accusations surrounding the entertainment mogul, raising serious questions about his personal and professional life. One of the most explosive revelations came when a person seeking to make a financial gain approached Ariel, asking if they could represent them in the sale of a Diddy-related recording. According to the individual, they were in possession of one of the tapes and were seeking someone to facilitate its sale before it was leaked publicly. The person, a confidential source, revealed that these tapes were not isolated incidents but were actively circulating through Hollywood circles. In fact, they are being shopped around, with certain individuals in possession of these videos seeking to monetize them before they reach the public eye. This direct connection to the sale of private and compromising material paints a troubling picture of how far some are willing to go to profit from scandal. When asked about these tapes, the source confirmed that they had indeed been approached by someone specifically attempting to sell one of the videos. The person disclosed that the video in question featured Diddy but also included another prominent figure, one whose status and influence in Hollywood far surpassed that of Diddy himself. And while the identity of the other individual cannot be revealed, the lawyer confirmed that this person holds a level of notoriety that would only add fuel to the fire if their name were to surface alongside Diddy's. This revelation bears similarities to what has been referred to as a catch-and-kill situation, a term used when individuals or organizations attempt to suppress damaging stories or information, typically for financial or reputational reasons. In this case, the seller of the video seemed determined to prevent its public release by offering it for sale to the right person before it became widely known. The implication is clear: there are efforts being made to control the narrative surrounding these tapes, possibly through high-profile individuals willing to pay to keep them out of the public eye. While the details of these events remain murky, the emergence of these tapes comes at a time when Diddy's career is facing increased scrutiny. Gene Deal, a source who has been close to Diddy for much of his career, has gone public with some alarming statements regarding the mogul's future. According to Deal, Diddy's time at the top may be coming to an end, and there's a growing possibility that one of his alleged co-conspirators will testify against him in a legal case that could carry serious criminal charges. Deal hinted that the first person to cooperate with investigators in this ongoing investigation could receive a reduced sentence or even immunity from prosecution. This raises the stakes for those around Diddy, as pressure mounts for individuals within his circle to either stay silent or risk becoming a key witness in a case that could shatter his empire. The idea that one of Diddy's inner circle might turn on him is something that many close to the mogul are concerned about. The risk of betrayal is ever present, especially in the high-stakes world of celebrity, where careers can be ruined with a single public scandal. Diddy himself is reportedly aware of the potential for someone to cooperate with authorities and is allegedly exerting pressure on his associates to keep silent about any wrongdoing. The fear of criminal charges and public disgrace has undoubtedly created an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty within Diddy's camp, where loyalty and silence could be the difference between avoiding legal consequences and facing severe punishment. This tape and the ongoing investigation into Diddy's actions could have lasting effects on his career and entertainment industry relationships. The implications of the tapes, combined with the mounting allegations of sexual assault and misconduct, paint a grim picture of a man who once ruled the entertainment world but now finds himself embroiled in scandal and legal jeopardy. The fact that these tapes are already being traded and are reportedly being shopped around to high-profile individuals suggests that Diddy's past is catching up with him, and it remains to be seen how far the story will go and how much damage it will do to his legacy. This story shows that Diddy's friends are under pressure, and some may speak out. Whether or not anyone steps forward to testify or provide further evidence against him will likely play a significant role in the future of Diddy's career and the public's perception of him. In the meantime, the ongoing efforts to suppress the tapes and control the narrative reflect the lengths to which some are willing to go to protect their reputations and preserve their place at the top of the entertainment industry. But as these tapes continue to circulate, it seems inevitable that the truth about Diddy's actions will eventually come to light, and with it, the real consequences of his past decisions.
It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched, and Brother Love was watching.